Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? So this today we're going to be talking about ballistic coefficients and ballistic programs, things that help you shoot long distance, and they help in hunting too because they give you the tools to make sure that your bullet is on track. And it's a difference between wounding an animal and killing an animal, and I can't stress ethical hunting and ethical shot placement in any situation. Last video one, we talked about slugging your gun, and I didn't give a reason. Well, I don't think I gave a good enough reason why you want to slug your gun. Not only do you want the slugs to fit and not get stuck in your barrel, but you also want good accuracy. And the right fit, the right size slug will give you better accuracy. As I explained in the first video, the 257 that I own had two tight spots in it, and it wouldn't hit the same spot on a 36-inch box. Well, if you got your crosshairs on a rabbit and at 100 yards, and if the slug doesn't fit right, chances are you're not going to hit the rabbit. So anyway, on to ballistic coefficient. Let's get down to brass tacks and start talking about getting your accuracy where it needs to be. So ballistic coefficients, in the airgun world, we don't shoot as fast as a 22 long rifle. About 300 feet per second less than a 22 long rifle. 22 long rifle, standard cartridge, is 1,300 feet per second, roughly. That creates about 140 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. Our air guns, if you have a powerful air gun, a high-powered air gun, like my Condors and my Texan, those guns create between 70 and 180 foot-pounds of energy, with bullet speeds around 1,050 to 1,060 feet per second, which makes them a good candidate for long-range shooting. So ballistic coefficients for air guns, there isn't anything really out there, because we drop speed a lot faster than a powder burner, let's say a 6.5 millimeter Creedmoor. Our ballistic coefficients actually change at different ranges, because the bullet is not maintaining the velocity, it's dropping off quickly. So therefore ballistic programs like this Strelok Pro, they help us out a lot. So ballistic coefficients that I use for all my airgun slugs is 0.0765. That is a pretty good ballistic coefficient to use. I've discussed this stuff with Dale from Varmint Knockers, Cedric from Too Fast For You on YouTube, Joe, Monkey Dad 1969 on YouTube. And I believe my guess of 0.0765, it gets me close enough, on target close enough to where I can dial the rest of the way in, and then I have what I call my dope book, and it's just nothing more than a tablet, and I write down all my MOA adjustments. I use MOA scopes. Some guys like Milrad scopes, but I write down everything. And 200, 100, Okay, so 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400. And I write down how many clicks on my scope or how many MOA I had to adjust at that selected range. And I always carry this dope book with me wherever I go. I guess in a hunting situation, it probably wouldn't be justified to carry your book, but you can make a cue card, take a index card and write things out and stick it in your pocket, laminate it, stick it in your pocket, carry it with you. But the more you shoot, the more you'll know and the more you'll remember. And at some point you may not need that index card. So that's it with dope books. Now for the ballistic programs that help you get started. As I say, I have Strelok Pro. I paid for the program. They have Strelok has another program that you don't have to pay for. I paid for this one because it has my scope in it, and I can see on my reticle, if you switch to reticle, I can see if I wanted to use holdover. I don't. I dial everything. Everything is dialed. So what you want to do is you want to get the program on your phone, and when you open it up, this page pops up. This page right here pops up. So what you want to do is this big box right here, you want to click on that box. Now that's going to bring up another box, and you put in here what gun you're shooting, and then you can go here to scope. If you click on that one, it's going to bring up a window, and you're going to put in how far, where your zero is at. I zero all my rifles at 100 yards because we shoot target, we shoot steel, and that's where I like to zero my gun. Then you want to measure from the center of your bore line to the center of your scope, and you want to put that number in here. Mine's 2 1/4 inches. I put that in there. Your vertical clicks, if it's a 1/10 mil, you put 0.1. If it's a 1/4 MOA at 100 yards, you put 0.25. Same way with the vertical. Then you go down and you choose MRAD or MOA. I choose MOA. Now, if you buy the program and your scope's in here, you can click on the scope and choose the scope. And then there's other things where you can search a reticle, and then you click OK, and now you're done with that part. You need to put your twist rate in here of your barrel. Mine's 17.8 to 1, or yeah, 17.8 inches per foot. Then you can go in here to this part, and you can measure your bullet length, your bullet diameter, which 256, the weight in grains. Then here's where you put your BC. For airgun bullets, I put 0.0765. You can put 0.5 if you want to. It's gonna, it'll get you close to being on paper. And then you could do this R4, but it's not necessary. Zero offset is MOA. And then now you're done with that part, and you click the back button. And then you click close. And then up here, you're gonna put your distance to your target that you're shooting. We're gonna use 200, for instance. You can add wind speed, you can add wind direction, you can add slope angle in degrees, if you know that. But then you click calculate. Now with 100 yard zero at a target that's 200 yards away, I want to go up, which is the U. U stands for up, 21.7 MOA. So you count on your scope, you count 27 point, and it tells you the clicks. It's 87 clicks. So then you shoot your target, but it gets you really close. These programs, I use them all the time. And then once I shoot at 200 yards and I see where my bullet's hitting, and then I make more adjustments to the scope, then I write that down in the 200-yard column, that I went up 105 clicks from 100 yards zero to hit 200 yards, to hit the target bullseye 200 yards away. And then you write all that, and you just keep going, and then eventually you'll have it all right here in this book, and you can always use the program to double check. But it's important because you have to know where your bullet's going to hit, especially in a hunting situation. Now, I don't suggest shooting at an animal that's more than 100 yards away with an air gun, even though some air guns still create enough energy at 200 yards to kill an animal effectively and humanely. I still wouldn't recommend it. Now, shooting at steel or shooting at a silhouette or shooting at paper, it's a whole different game. It doesn't matter if you hit off just a little bit on your target, because it's not an animal. But this video is going to be short and sweet, but that's how I get my guns on target. Ballistic program, 0.0765 as a BC for an air gun bullet or air gun slug, and then work the math from there, and watch where you're hitting, make your adjustments, write them down in your dope book. Then you always have them. So that's going to conclude today's video. Next video, I think we'll touch base on tuning your air gun to get maximum velocity I hope everybody has a great day. Yeah, I lost my train of thought, but if you like my videos, click the like button, please. If you want to comment, leave a comment. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. More videos will be coming, and eventually, hopefully, end of April, first part of May, the wife and I will be out shooting steel.